Hello, my dear friends out there in space. I am so glad you have returned to see this next exciting match here on day 3 of the 10th Alliance Tournament. I am Zastro, here with the brave commander of spacemen, Lazarus Telraven, and we are honored to bring you this incisive commentary on all of the space action. For this next match, we see the best team name in the tournament, Percussive Pizza Time Diplomacy, facing off against tournament veterans, the Romanian-Legion. Now, my dear friend Lazarus, what have the teams brought?
You have pizza with the Vindicator, Narrows, Ishkur, Vengeance set up, and then you have the standard 2 Sleipnir, Scimitar, Merlin from a Romanian Legion. What's interesting to note is, which we had to ask CCP about this, if there was a penalty or not, but it isn't just a slip of, or error, I guess, on the pizza team's fault, that they forgot to repair their Narrows before it came onto the field, and it is at 60% armor damage.
Yeah, that is not a way to start the match.
Yeah, this is a new setup we haven't seen before, but I don't think the 60% armor is going to be an advantage.
Both teams started a little bit away from the center beacon, about 30 kilometers away, and now as the match gets underway, we see the teams pretty much heading away from the middle of the beacon. The Sleipnir team appears to be setting up to kite.
Yeah, they want to get range. They want to try to get some of these assault frigates down before they get tackle, and that Vindicator gets on top of those Sleipnirs. Vindicator, a lot of DPS, that 90% web bonus, and I think they were going to try to kite around and just get some of these smaller ships out of the way before they go in for that Vindy.
Yeah, so far in the tournament, the Vindicator has been probably the best of all the faction battleships people have brought. Faction battleships tend to have not done good in past tournaments because it's so much of your points centered around a single ship, but they've done really well so far this tournament. I think having that big web bonus has helped a lot, keep ships on top of them with those huge blaster DPS are able to do.
Yep, the Vengeance and one of the Vengeance from Cat Cassidy and the Vindicator are now moving towards the Sleipnirs. The Vindy, I think, has a 100% win rate so far in the tournament. I could be incorrect, but also this is, I believe, the first match we've seen the Vengeance. The Vengeance gets a 5% bonus to armor resistances per level from the assault ship skill. So it quite tanky, uses rockets, and if this Inaros, which looks to be out of range of that of the Vengeance, it's going to go down. Oh, no, it does have reps now.
And that they're all the way at the edge of the arena now. That Vindy appears to be trying to close on the Scimitar, but I think the Scimitar is sliding away as fast as he can.
Yep, the Vindy is getting pretty close to that Sleipnir. It's going to be interesting to see if he throws that web on it and to get it down very quickly.
And there it is. They're right up against the edge of the arena, but that Vindy is in tackling range now, so we should see a whole lot of damage being applied to the Sleipnirs now.
Yep, you see the web from the Vindy now on the Sleipnir, on Sisul's Sleipnir, and just seeing the tremendous amount of DPS from these blasters hitting the Sleipnir.
Yeah, so far the Vindy has been able to tank pretty much, or the team. The Romanian Legion team has been able to tank most of the DPS that's getting on them from the Percussive Pizza Time Diplomacy, but as the Vindy gets on top of them, that's going to change real quick.
Yep, and you see the Vengeance go back up to full armor. It was down to about 20% armor left. The Inaros was able to get reps onto it in time because our Vengeance did burn out of range from the reps.
So far, we see a lot of ability to tank in the early parts of this match. Probably those ASBs, again, coming into play here at the early stages. As the teams take more damage and start to run out of charges, we'll see them starting to take armor damage. That Aniros now, he's taking big shots. He's down in he's in half armor, but he's repping shields as fast as he's taking damage.
An ASB tanked Inaros, guys. It's I believe it's the first time we've seen this so far in the tournament.
Yeah, was not expecting that, but it's working for him so far. The ASB is such a power module for these small 6v6 matches. I expect it to be less of a big deal once we get to the 12v12s and there's just more DPS on the field. But in the 6v6s, it's a huge power module.
Yeah, as you see the first Sleipnir go down from from the Romanian Legion side for the being crushed underneath the neutron blasters of that Vindicator, and I was just corrected that Fearless has brought a ASB tank to Oneris so far in this year. So.
Well, it worked for him so far. He did. He almost got alpha through shields a couple times and did take armor damage, but that XL ASB is able to rep his shields up almost instantly. It will be an issue when he runs out of charges, but as long as he's able to maintain his distance and not take too many hits, he could stay alive for a while.
Yeah, they're down to 1 Sleipnir, 3 Merlins. They lost a lot of the DPS. I'm not sure they're going to be able to break that Oneris with just 1 Sleipnir with the ASB running. Merlin just popped for the Romanian Legion team. I think these Vengeances with that armor resist bonus was a very good choice for this team.
Yeah.
The Sleipnir's kited away, tried to get some of these
is being closed on now, and there he's done. Over.
Wow. They just made me eat my words. That Oneris just blew up.
Yep, and that's the first loss that Progressive Pizza Time Diplomacy has suffered. But I still think they're in a pretty strong position. If that Vindicator can catch up and get webs on his targets, he's still going to be able to pop them.
Yep, this Sleipnir is called. It is webbed. It's being neutered, or NOS as well, I believe. Yep, that is NOS effect. So he does have a lot of DPS on him. He's being crushed as he gets off ASB cycles.
Once that Vindicator catches up and gets his webs on his target, the amount of damage that comes out of him is staggering. He's kind of range limited, but those web bonuses make it so powerful. Such a good combination in a battleship. The web bonuses plus huge blaster DPS. As
you see, a Merlin came in and got insta-volleyed. Died very quickly. Very thin ship, even though it's been the most popular ship so far in the tournament. The last Sleipnir has just died for Romanian Legion as well.
Yeah, and despite the loss of that Oneros, nothing on the Pizza Time Diplomacy team is really taking much damage. The loss of the repping power hasn't affected them too much, and they're just knocking out these Romanian Legion ships one after another.
Well, I think if they would have been able to get that Oneris down early, when they had both Scimitars, or not Scimitars, but both Sleipnirs, they would have been able to actually do something with it, but they lost that first Sleipnir very quickly, and then they finally got the Oneris down. So it would have been, it could have changed it, but just these Vindicator setups have been so strong so far this year.
Yeah, and having the ASB on that Oneros just to give it the short amount of tanking ability for the Vindicator to catch up and start knocking out those ships before the Oneros' survival becomes an issue has been a very strong tactic so far. Worked for him here.
All that's left currently on the Romanian Legion side is the Scimitar. It looks like he is tackled and will be getting tackled shortly and then dying in a fire.
Yeah, those freaks caught up with him. He's tackled, and it's going to be a 50-point victory for Percussive Pizza Time Diplomacy. That with their 10 points that they had coming into this, 12 points that they had coming into this, is going to put them in a strong position to advance to the group stage.
Yeah, I really love these blaster setups. A lot of DPS, a lot of damage, or not, well, DPS is damage, but they're very high on action, and just seeing these huge chunks being taken out of the ships makes me happy.
Once again, the Vindicator setups have been vindicated, and has any of the Vindicator teams lost at all so far?
No.
Vindicator's been a powerful ship.
Yeah, I think we decided to dub them the Vindicators now.
Vindicators. Another success for the Vindicators. That'll do it for this match, and we'll see you guys again for the next one in 10 minutes.